Hello everyone, it's Paul here. I'm speaking to you from the heartland of Korea. That's Naju. And it's kind of a cold day. I'm feeling cold anyway. Maybe my apartment's cold, I don't know. Final exam time is coming. It's next week. You excited? Or maybe you're more excited about what will happen after final exams are over. Yeah, me too. So, yeah, this is our last online lesson like this, actually. I may be sending some messages in the next few days, reminding you about when the exam is coming. Maybe also messages to students who haven't taken the exam. I really hope every student can try to take the exam. You have a chance to do the exam online with me. You have a chance to do it in class. So if you're doing your exam online, and I'll send out a message about this early next week, you can send me a message and tell me about a time that you would like. Maybe we can make a plan. If you're coming to class, just come during our regular class times. I might even be there a little early. So you can show up a little before our regular class times. And then we'll meet. Okay? And so it'll just be what we call in English, first come, first serve. So the students who show up first, they can do their exam earliest. They can do their exam first. If you come later, you have to wait longer, but hopefully it won't be long. Okay, so it's up to you. We have two test days. You can come the first day, you can come the second day. I'll be there, so it's all good. So today is what's called the final exam tutorial. I'm just going to give you some information. It's going to be fairly similar to what we did earlier in the week on Tuesday. But I just want to kind of go over things in a little more detail. I'm just going to kind of read everything. I've typed up 2 pages of information. This will also be included on the LMS page for our class. So you can watch this lesson, but you can also follow along with it and read it. Okay. And of course, if you have any questions, send me a message. I'll be happy to try to answer all of them for you. Okay, so maybe I'll just read out this and maybe give whatever extra information I can. There's a lot of important tips about how to get a good score. Things you can do to get a good score, and ways you might not get a good score. A lot of this comes from your midterm exam, from your homeworks, and particularly from the KakaoTalk speaking activities that we've done over the semester. Because I got an idea of the answers you often give, and your answers might be different from the answers that I want, that I'm looking for. So I'm gonna try to help you go in the direction of what I want you to say. Does that make sense? Well, we'll go on anyway. Okay, so I'll just read out the little introduction. Our final exam is a speaking test. I think you all know that now. You may either take the exam in person, in the classroom, or online over KakaoTalk. If you choose to do it over Kakao, please note that you may not have any help. If I even suspect, think, If I even suspect that someone else is with you as you are taking your speaking test, or if I think you might be reading your answers from a piece of paper or from screen or something, you will get a lower score. Okay? When we're doing the exam over Kakao, I want you looking at me, looking at the screen. Don't be looking down. Don't be looking to the left. Don't be looking to the right. If I hear somebody else talking, or if you're speaking in Korean to somebody, I'm going to think, oh, you're cheating. So, oh, my dog just got angry about something. Sorry about that. Okay, so yeah, I'm sorry that's the case, but if I think you're cheating, then you're cheating. So it's better if you come and do your exam in person, so I know what's going on, but I'm leaving that to be your choice. Please use the information below to help you prepare. I will ask you 4 or 5 questions. So I said that last time. There's 10 questions on the exam, 1 for each unit, but we're only going to talk about 4 or 5 of them. And 3 or 4 of the questions will be your choice, and then I will choose one. You may pass on some questions if you want, but not too many. Pass on 1 or 2. That's enough. Excuse me. Okay, so unit 1 is small talk. This one's pretty simple. I want you to review simple questions that people ask when they first meet each other. Not so much like what's your name, but things like where you're from, family, do you have any brothers or sisters, your hobbies, job, what you study, like major, just stuff like that. Okay. And there will be some follow-up questions to those. Okay. It's pretty simple. I think number 1 is probably the easiest question. Okay. Unit 2 is weekends and hobbies, and prepositions of frequency are the most important part of this. Always, usually, sometimes, rarely, and never. Other ones too, that's okay, like often and seldom, occasionally, regularly, hardly ever. So please give answers like, I usually meet my friends for lunch, or I rarely go hiking on weekends. If you give an answer like, I exercise 3 times a week, or I study every day, you will not get points for that. Like sometimes on unit 2 for with the prepositions of frequency, some of you might forget, and I might say like, how often do you maybe you say you enjoy playing soccer. And I might say, how often do you play soccer? And I want you to say something like, oh, I always play soccer on the weekend. But if you say 1 time a week, once every weekend, well, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for always, usually, something, rarely, or never. And yeah, it's what we studied. We didn't study like, well, I mean, we did later, but yeah, for that it should be the prepositions of frequency. Is the important thing there. Also, try to use a full sentence. That's the other good thing. But all of these, a full sentence is better than nothing. Number 3 is food and drink. For this question, I will ask you about how to make a simple dish that you might eat regularly. Similar to how I had you describe how to make ramen for our midterm exam. If you remember on our midterm, it was about ramen. Try to use some sequence markers, first, second, then, next, finally, in order to describe the recipe to me. Okay. Uh, yeah, that's all that's the same thing I described, I think, for Unit 3 before. Unit 4 is holidays and special days. The ordinal numbers, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, then sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th. They're the important part here. I'll ask you about some different holidays and special days and when they are. It is more important that you use an ordinal number in your answer than giving the correct date with a regular cardinal number. So if you say Christmas Day is on December 25, well, not quite. I mean, you still might get a score for that, but not the full score. But if you said Christmas Day is on December 26th, so you got the date wrong, but you used the ordinal number. You said 26th. That's actually better. You would get a higher score even though you said the wrong date because you used ordinal numbers. Ordinal numbers are the important part of this. The best thing is just to give everything right, though. The best answer is Christmas Day is on December 25th. Okay? So try to do those numbers for dates. Like it could be your birthday, different holiday, maybe some Korean holidays, some other holidays, some special days, whatever. I think that's a fairly easy one too. I mentioned before about the thing about degree of difficulty, and if you're answering all the really easy ones, you better have very, very, very good answers. Okay. People who are answering maybe some more difficult ones, if you make a little mistake there, a bit, it's okay. Okay, anyway, moving on. Comparatives for Unit 5. This is another one where I think, similar to the adverbs of frequency, I think some students feel prepared for this. Like you're kind of comfortable. Like I might ask you, and again, this is one we covered, which do you prefer, cats or dogs? You might say, oh, I like dogs because they're so kind. And dogs have so much loyalty. Well, that's nice. And that's true. But I'm looking for comparatives. So instead of saying dogs are so nice, you can say dogs are nicer. And that dogs have more loyalty than cats. Okay? Yeah, your score will be lower if you try to answer, but you do not use the comparatives. You know, that's things like better, taller, nicer, more interesting, more exciting. Again, you can still get some score for answering, especially if it's like a full sentence and stuff. But the best thing is try to use the comparatives in your answer. It's always best in any of these to try to cover the things that we studied. If you can cover the things that I taught you and you learned, then that's how you get the best score. That's actually the best hint I can give you for this. Okay, let's just finish these up. Superlatives, Unit 6. I'm going to go a bit off of what we did with this one because we only really did a homework for superlatives, I think. We didn't really cover it a whole lot, but I'm going to ask you about some places in Korea. So I might say, like, what do you think of Seoul? Okay. And you can maybe tell me some things, like tell me what you know about it. Like you can say stuff like, it's the biggest city in Korea. Or it has the most exciting areas like Hongdae and Itaewon. So please try to use different examples of the superlative, the best, the tallest, the nicest, the most interesting, the most exciting in your answers. Okay? If you just say, like, if we're talking about soul and I say, what are some things you like about soul? You just say, Namsan Tower is good, and going to Everland, that's Yongin, but close enough. Going to Everland is fun. Well, again, that's not really what I'm looking for. So just try to cover those. Unit 7 is advice. I'll tell you about a problem I'm having and ask you for advice. People did really well with this one, I think. Maybe you enjoyed this one? I don't know. But when we covered this, like with homework and Cacao, I think a lot of students did pretty well. The one kind of mistake that sometimes happens is, so I'm asking you for advice. So I say, what was one of the problems? I'm feeling homesick. Remember that one? I'm feeling homesick. What should I do? So you're giving me advice. So you would say, you should watch videos from YouTube and have food from your home, and you shouldn't cry, be sad. Sometimes students will say, I should. Not like me saying it, but you would say, I should. And asking advice is for you to tell me what you think I should do. All right? So your answer should be you should, you shouldn't, not I should or I shouldn't. Got it? Okay. So yeah, for that one, I'll just tell you some problem I'm having and you can tell me. And as I think I've said, I don't think I said yet, but all the questions are going to be available to you to help study today, so you can check that. Unit 8 is future plans. I didn't write much for this. I will ask you about your plans for some time in the future. Try to use going to or will in your answers. Wow, that's pretty simple. So if it's, what are your plans this weekend? If you have some plan for something, I'm going to meet some friends. If you are just kind of thinking or something, you might say, I will have dinner somewhere. The worst answer, sometimes I ask students this. I'll say, hey, what are your plans for next month? Students just, I don't know. And yeah, like that could be true. Maybe you don't have any plans, but this is a test, okay? Just make something up. Just lie to me. I don't care. Anything. Or you could pass on the question. That's the other thing you could do. But yeah, don't say I don't know. It's a test. Tell me something. I don't care if it's true or not. Okay, almost done here. Travel for Unit 9. For this unit, we'll talk about places that you have been to, and maybe some places you haven't been yet. In order to get a good score, please tell me about the last time you went to some of these places or how often you've been to them. So I'll just ask you, I might ask you mostly about places in Korea. Have you ever been to Jeju-do? Yes, I went there last year. I've been there 4 times. And maybe I might ask you some follow-up questions. Follow-up questions could come up with a lot of these. So, yeah. And then describing places, we will look at a map. And I will ask you about some places on it. Please tell me about the street or streets they are on. And use prepositions of place. Next to, across from, between, behind, in front of. That sort of thing. Pretty simple. Okay, so that's what our final, that's some of the information for the final. As I say, there'll also be a document you can look up with the final exam questions to help you study. You are not to read from them. during your exam. The final exam questions are to help you study, help you prepare. They are not for you just to read them during your test. That's not a test. Okay. So if there's anything else that I think of, I'll let you know. But I think that's most of it. If you have any questions, please let me know. Like to wish you all good luck on your final. This is our last lesson, so I hope you've enjoyed these lessons on my YouTube channel. I hope everybody has a nice winter break. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, season's greetings, all that. And yeah, for those of you who come to the in-class exam next week, I'm looking forward to seeing you in person. All right, so take care and talk to you again soon. All right, bye-bye.